Hey guys, how's it going? Michael here with the Marvelite. Joining me today for this episode is the usual suspects, Will.
Wush poppin'.
Wush poppin' indeed. And of course, we have none other than Nick.
Hey guys, it's really early in the morning. It's 9 in the morning here. I'm so tired.
Very early in the morning because...
So we are doing it at 9 like we said we would.
Exactly. So pretty much the reason why we're recording so early today is because we are talking about none other than Logan. This is going to be a spoiler-filled episode of the Marvelite, so if you haven't seen Logan, we probably advise not to listen to this one because we're going to go in-depth on the movie, pretty much. Right, guys?
We're going deep, man. No lube.
We're going deeper than his claws and the people that he killed.
Deeper than Origins.
We're going deep.
Damn.
Deep.
Pretty deep. But before we get into it, guys, how we doing, Nick? How you feeling this morning?
I'm good. You know, just kind of getting over. Because I saw the movie like late last night. Like you guys saw it before me, like 3 hours probably. Like you were like, "Hey, like I just saw it." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sitting in the theater to watch it." Like I was
texting this guy. I'm like, "Yo, Nick, just seen it."
I think actually I was the first one to see it.
Yeah.
For HN, yeah, I think you were. I think, and then Luke was next.
Yeah,
I think I caught a little bit after.
Yeah, Luke was like 2 hours after me was the thing, and we were talking about like who's gonna do the review.
Damn, but Will, how you doing though, man? Post Logan, is your life that much better now?
God, I needed a stiff drink after that movie. It fucked with my emotions. But like I'm doing all right. I'm half here, half nose in the chemistry book, and half at lootcrate.com, where you can use our code BRIDGE10 to get 10% off with lootcrate.com/hybrid network using code BRIDGE10.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Nothing comes better than after a quiz than some Loot Crate.
Yeah, this month's theme for Loot Crate is Primal, where you can get items based off Wolverine, Predator, and Overwatch. So.
Oh, that's
cool. Actually a really great combo. Damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, again, this is talking about Logan, the movie, so if you have not seen it, please leave right now.
Or just skip ahead to the questions at the end or something.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go talk about Logan. Of course, this has been a fairly hype movie, you know. This was everyone is very excited for this one. This is Logan's, Hugh Jackman's last go as a Wolverine. You know, it's rated R. We've all been wanting to see this take on the character. We finally have seen it. What are your thoughts, guys?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll just give my initial impressions of the movie. So, before going in to see the movie, I was like super hyped because I loved the first teaser, the one with Johnny Cash where they played Hurt. I thought that was amazing, like the way it was cut together and everything. Mm-hmm. I liked the second trailer too and stuff, and the TV spots and all that. I watched them, and then the reviews came out. It said it was amazing. The Dark Knight of Marvel movies. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And then I mean, I like the movie. I have like a lot of issues with it though. There are like choices that were made that I didn't agree with and stuff, and I wish it would have kind of gone differently in the third act mostly. But I mean, in terms of the movie, I like it. I want to watch it again, obviously, when it comes out and stuff. And I might actually just go watch it again like a matinee, like next week or something. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
True, yeah, maybe after that initial hype is gone, maybe just watch it again, analyze it.
I might probably like next week when like Kong comes out. I think I might just go like watch that and then like
double
maybe
feature.
Logan again or something.
Yeah, sweet. But so Will, what was your like initial impressions of Logan?
Initially I thought it was great. I honestly think it's one of the best CBMs we've gotten in a while, if not overall. I don't really like comparing it to films. That's why and plus going into it, I don't really get super hype for X-Men movies and stuff like that, especially after Apocalypse. I'm like, well, after that we can only go up from here, right? Even after Wolverine or X-Men Origins. But yeah, I thought it was a really good film. Honestly, if I have any issues with it, they feel more like nitpicks than anything else.
Yeah.
But I think because you saw the Movie Bob review, I think, where you're saying basically like Logan is a film that's kind of hard to do and can only really be done for this particular situation because it's like 17 years of build-up for a character that generally no one's really had any complaints about. Like, even as bad as X-Men Origins was, and like the issues with Days of Future Past and all the bullshit that the X-Men have gone through, no one's really complained about Hugh Jackman's portrayal as Wolverine. That's one of the things. Like, oh, that was fine. Like, it was at least fine. At the least,
it's like the glistening thing in the turd.
Yeah, it's the diamond in the turd in the turd cave.
Exactly. But my initial thoughts when I came out of the movie, I mean, I actually found it quite enjoyable. There was a lot of things that I did like, and not very many that I did not like. But I enjoyed how different it was from all the other, like as you mentioned, CBMs we've seen. You can't really compare it to too many. I thought it was really interesting because initially I thought, it's gonna be like a lot like Old Man Logan. Although they do take certain aspects of it, it's really its own story, which I really enjoyed. But speaking of that, what are the things you liked about Logan? Nick, what are some things that you really enjoyed in the movie?
Well, I really liked all the main performances. I actually really loved the villain that was played by Boyd Holbrook. He had the robotic hand. Mm-hmm. Donald Pierce.
They all had one actually too.
Yeah, he was good.
He was funny. Like, he was charismatic and stuff. I liked him, and I was actually sad. Like, this is a spoiler discussion. I thought he died.
This is spoilers. This is complete spoilers. You can talk whatever the fuck.
I thought he died when like Caliban sacrificed himself. Like, I thought he was dead right there. I'm like, oh shit, they just killed him right there. But then he came back later. I'm like, oh good. But
yeah. Well, you see him jump out of the van when Caliban drops the grenades. He's like, oh shit. Jumps out the back.
Just barely though. Like, I think you see the explosion, him getting pushed away. No,
I think his face was pretty burnt up when we see him later on.
Yeah, that was good. Like, what else? Like, I like the original score for the movie was good too. Like, the cinematography and everything was cool. Like, the locations. Yeah, I mean, that I really like the movie too. Also, like Will pointed out too, it is one of the better comic book movies we've gotten in a while. So, yeah,
I'm definitely with you there on a lot of the points you made.
Yeah.
Will, how about you?
Some things that you really liked about Logan that stood out to you.
Surprisingly, X-23, because I remember last summer I went and rewatched all of X-Men Evolution because I didn't finish it as a kid. And fucking, I remember her episode and everything, and going into this movie, and when we first heard about the production, the X-23 was going to be in it, but she was going to be like, so she's confirmed in the movie to be 11 years old, because we see her birth records, and it says 132 months. And I remember the show, she was like a couple years older than that, but a little bit more. Like, I don't know. I guess it's weird. The difference between a cartoon character and an actual 11-year-old is very different.
An actual character in real life.
Yeah. But I thought she was really good. Even, like, I think she basically had to pull an 11 from Stranger Things, where she acted essentially all with her face. And close to nothing with her words until the end. And hearing that one line where, like, she's holding Logan when he dies, and actually she says daddy, like, that, I don't know what it was, but that actually hit me, because she doesn't speak much English either. So but she understands.
I'm definitely with you there.
But yeah, I think she was good. I agree with Nick. I really like the villain. He was a charismatic, but like, he was still a villain. He served his purpose, but I really liked his character. It's not often you see a villain with a neck tattoo either, who's like, so this is it's, now that I think about it, even though the trailers portrayed it as a Western, and we'll talk about that kind of when we get into negatives and stuff, this is more of a Southern film.
Well, this is a road trip movie, like planes, trains, and automobiles, but...
It's vacation, bro. It's vacation with Wolverine.
It's vacation with Wolverine. But no, this is more Southern, like, this is more of a country travel road trip film rather than a Western, like it was shown to be in the trailers, because, like it's like a Southern action piece, not really a Western like we thought it would be. And I can understand why that'd be misleading to people. But it works for me, and I live out here in these, like, boony country parts where we have cornfields and horses and black cowboys. Haven't seen those in a while historically. They exist, and I'm like, oh shit, they're still around in 2029. Yeah. But actually, I thought that family was good when, because I remembered we've had all those mutterings about the other Fox TV show. About the family on the run, and I'm like, oh shit, so that's what happened. That's why they canceled the show. They put him in Logan, and they're gone. They're gone in the most brutal, savage way
brutally
ever.
Butchered.
Yeah, like, I would have, that actually, one of my favorite parts of the film was them at the dinner table interacting with the family. Like, it kind of reminded me of the barn scene from Age of Ultron, but even better, because you've seen all three of these people suffer with this, like, miscellaneous, very kind, very down-to-earth family that's, like, trying to make it by, and they're like, yeah, we're just trying to save money to go on a vacation, raise our horses, and get our water away from these not so nice people, and you see it's just a nice little family dynamic where they talk, even with X-23 being the out of place kid as she is.
She's like mute.
Yeah, how long has she been mute? Forever.
How long? And
like,
he's just like, I guess forever.
Since the start. But yeah, like I think that was actually one of the best parts, was them at the dinner table with the family.
Yeah, that was a really great moment. It was like the Last Supper per se, before everything really changed, because that's when obviously
It was.
Freaking X obviously passed away, or not passed away. He fucking got murdered, and then X-23 gets taken away
of old age in his bed.
Yeah,
passed away of old age and a claw to the chest.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I really liked in that scene too was seeing, even throughout the whole movie, was seeing Logan pretty much starting off, I'm just here for Professor X, I'm trying to help him out, to then slowly like starting to care about this X-23 character, who is his daughter, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then like we see it perfectly, that one scene when she's being taken away and he doesn't know if Professor's dead upstairs, right? So he chooses to get him first. It was just I love that throughout the whole entire film, that progression.
Yeah.
And I also love just like the themes in the movie, just like this
hopelessness and desperation and depressing. Those themes.
Yeah,
I actually did. I enjoyed them for the most part. Also, the idea of old age and having to care
and the
for
political climate in the movie too. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, I know you have something to say about that, so we'll save it. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I actually like that, like seeing like the difference, like there's this Wolverine character who's obviously dying, and he's dealing with drinking too much, and he's like doing drug deals on the side to save money. It was just really gritty and different take that I kind of liked, because we don't see it too often.
Yeah, this is definitely a different Wolverine. Like, this actually really kind of flexed Hugh Jackman's acting chops, which he is very capable of, but it's not something you often get to see in fucking X-Men films.
Yeah, it was just so sad, like, for me, because, like, I can relate to, like, having, like, an old family member you have to take care of, and just seeing Wolverine, like, despite being a badass, he has to, like, take care of this guy who really, like, helped him out so much throughout his life. It was just really sweet to see some of those moments personally, and see that presented in the film. Also, having this young child who he's trying to, like, help and take care of, even though she's a complete badass on her own merits. Yeah, I just like that dynamic of the movie. I also like Nick mentioned, the cinematography, the way it was directed. I thought it was all well done by Mangold.
I agree. Don't you just hate it when just, like, you're minding your own business and then you get a call from a woman down in Mexico that's like, you have a baby, oh my god. And you're like, what? How did she become 11? Hate when that happens, right, fellas?
What did you guys think about the swearing? I just wanted to mention that. Did you guys think it was a little over the top at parts?
No, it was weird at first to see Professor X is like, go fuck yourself, and we're like, oh, you can talk. Like if you've seen Focus, there's a scene where Will Smith says motherfucker in the middle of like a hotel or something, and it's just so off-putting because of how they are as people and as actors. And
yeah,
it's
like you just know him from like iRobot and Fresh Prince.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you had that in you. So seeing it come from Patrick Stewart, who's a great actor and everything, great dramatic actor, but you've just never seen him really say like fuck and shit as loosely as I do. So I didn't think it was over the top for me. I think it was more realistic because people swear all the fucking time. Yeah,
you're fucking right, man. But I guess we talked about most of the stuff that we like. I think we can all agree X-23 did a pretty solid job. The villain, the performances. Yeah. So let's go dive into some of the nitpicks and or negatives you had for the movie. Will, what grinded your gears?
If I had to like nitpick to see issues with it, I guess there were a few moments where like the effects weren't perfectly S-rank clean, I suppose.
This guy said S-rank.
Yeah, it's the one rank above A, fucking superior ranking. I guess there are a few effects moments, but like story-wise, I can't. And some of the issues, because we had talked about it a little bit before, that you guys had brought up, I can see, but I don't. They're just like not as bad for me. Oh, a thing to mention though. We didn't get a Stan Lee cameo here at all in the whole film, I don't think.
Because it's 2029 and he's dead by then.
Yeah.
Fuck. You don't think he's going to make it? I mean, he's
I don't mean
pushing
to be
100.
mean, but the man's like pushing like 100 soon.
Yeah,
so.
because I know he filmed his last 3, but we this basically confirmed that Logan was not one of those films, and I guess it kind of goes with the tone. Like I expected him to show up as a doctor or a policeman or something, but no, he was not in this at all.
Well, it's because I think also just because like the movie is just so separated from everything.
Wasn't it like?
I think if he was in there, it would have just been completely jarring and like not fit in the movie.
Yeah, wasn't
even in
rumored that
Apocalypse, he was like
gonna...
a dude in a house.
Sorry, Nick, what are you saying?
Wasn't it rumored that Stanley was going to be in the little Deadpool thing before the movie? But that didn't...
Oh, we totally should talk about that too.
By the way, it's not a teaser or a trailer for the second movie. It's just a skit.
Yeah, which I think, just quick insert on that opinion, I thought that was brilliant.
Oh yeah, I thought that shit was funny.
So good to keep Deadpool in the minds of the audience, to remind them that a new movie is coming, despite if they heard any shaky rumors, gets people excited, quick 2 minutes before this other movie that's completely different. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But any other negatives, Will, or is that it for you?
That's about it. I mean, I'll comment on the stuff that you guys bring up, but for me, it didn't seem like that big of a thing. Honestly, I do want to see more of these. I'm more interested in the New Mutants from this movie than the New Mutants that we're probably going to get, and we'll talk.
Damn.
We'll talk about that in a second. How these are essentially the kidnapped offspring of the original X-Men. Yeah, because you can find that's Jean Grey's power, and that is Storm, and there's Wolverine's, and we have, I guess, Terra from Teen Titans, too, who showed up as one of the kids. There's Bobby Frost's little kid. You can see whose powers they stole from.
It was a bargain store.
Yeah.
Nick, I know you got some things to say. Well, what are some negatives for you for Logan?
Yeah, I want to preface by saying all these negatives that I probably give. I don't hate the movie or anything. I think it's probably one of Fox's best and everything. Like, it's definitely up there. But I just did have like actual flaws with the movie. Like, I actually had problems. So,
Go for it.
The first thing I just want to address is that I felt like the movie had like some big pacing issues at points. Like, it kind of dragged here and there. Like, they could have... I think the movie... How long is it? Like, 2:20? Like, almost
2:18.
2:18? So I could have... Yeah. I feel like they could have cut 20 minutes out of it, and it would have been, like, way better. I'm not sure where, I guess. Maybe, like, some of the stuff where they're just kind of, like, doing nothing. But
maybe... just them driving?
Yeah. What else? I felt
horses.
Like... Yeah, the movie got, like, too political towards the end and stuff, I think. Like, it kind of, like... I know it wasn't intentional because they... wrote the script for the movie like I want to say like 2 years ago. They shot it like last year, so it just was kind of like a weird timing thing. Like the whole.
I think that's purely coincidental. But like I see what you're talking about with
the whole border stuff.
Yeah, with all the border stuff.
Yeah, because it's like basically like to me it felt like they were trying to say like, oh, like America's just hopeless now. Like we have to abandon it. And, like just run to Canada. Like okay.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that was intentional, but I see what you mean by it. Like I think that's just poor timing by coincidence. Like they couldn't control the politics of America.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish they would have like that. Like Logan and them had just like put up more of a fight or something. It almost felt like they just like giving in and just like giving up on like where they were from and stuff. I don't know. And then I also had an issue with them actually just killing Wolverine at the end. I know it's like the last movie and it's like they did the whole death of Wolverine, like sent him off, but I felt like it would have been better if he just like kind of rode off into the sunset or something, rather than just like saying no, he died, because it almost felt like he died for nothing or something. Like they all escape, right? The kids go away, like they make it across, but it's like I don't feel like they didn't need to kill him at the end. I don't know. I had an issue with that.
I think it was more that he chose to die.
Yeah, it was like an actor thing rather than like a story point.
Oh, yeah. Like that.
It's almost. It reminds me actually like why Han Solo died in Force Awakens. It's like.
He's wanted to die for years. Yeah, it's like, let me die.
Yeah, it was like the worst death scene ever. Like they just wrote that shitty death scene in just to like say, yep, he died. It's like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, both of these are probably active things.
Yeah, that. What else was there? Issue.
But, hey Nick, we can always chalk it up to a healing coma.
Oh, no.
He can't possibly come back, and you can bullshit your way through it like Fox has in the past.
You guys didn't see the dirt moved. What the hell?
Yeah, you didn't.
Little pebble.
You didn't see
I mean, the
the
pebbles, the rocks.
yeah, the X shifted.
Oh, that was the other thing. I really didn't like how they treated the death of the X-Men as like an offhand reference in the movie. Like it's almost never explained exactly what happened to the X-Men. I mean, they kind of allude to it or whatever, but it's not like they never say like, "Yep, he killed all of them." It's like I would have preferred if they just kept it the same, where Wolverine killed them all instead of Professor X killing them. Apparently, which is I guess the thing that happens.
I think they maybe alluded to Wolverine did it, no?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Professor X that killed them.
Yeah, because his seizures, it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, I would have kind of liked to see them actually show what happened, but I guess it's one of those moments where you can tell instead of show and just like give it up more to the actors than it would be to the visuals. Plus, you have to pay for basically to get back into Westchester and blow it up and kill everyone some way. So I guess that might be a budgetary thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess they're trying to keep it tightly focused on Logan.
Yeah, and I had an issue where it felt like the movie was so downbeat and somber that it's almost like by the end of the movie, it's like Wolverine and the X-Men just like died, and the X-Men just never. It felt like they never accomplished anything in this universe. They just kind of like went away. That was it. Their story ends on like a sad note. It's just like forgotten, I guess, in comic books. It's like it just left me feeling like just gutted. I was just like, man, like. So the X-Men are just gone. Like there's just nothing, and like, damn, like.
I think that granted, I think that's what they were going for. I think they wanted to leave that kind of a feel and impression on the audience. Granted, like some people, I think will come out feeling how like you did, but I do agree with you on some of those. For me personally, I found the film to drag quite a bit, like towards like the second act. Although I did find them to do some character developing. There, it did feel a little dragged out. I think one of the more bigger problems for me was towards the third act. I found it to be a little clunky, like with the whole like X-24 stuff coming in, and then I remember there was this one scene specifically. It just felt like really just abrupt, and like I think the fighting scenes, they just kept the pacing for it just kept going fast, slow. In terms of how often they would come up in the third act, it was just like ooh, it felt a little out of place for me. But I didn't have too many problems with the movie. Like you said, I did enjoy it, but there were some things that just popped out to me. What'd you guys think about the whole seizure thing in the casino?
I thought that's a really good way to do that was just a really good slow motion fight scene or action scene. When I saw it, I'm like, this is actually one of the most cleverly made slow motion scenes I've seen in a film in a while. Of him and Laura being the only ones that can move through the seizures physically, and he's just kind of like you see everyone's eyes just like, oh no.
Yeah, they should all be dead though.
They
because remember the previous scene, he said like we couldn't breathe. Caliban said I couldn't breathe, and they're holding. He did that for a whole elevator ride.
Yeah, which see, I'm just like, you know what? You're probably mad as hell that you picked the 11th floor instead of like the second. Right now,
you really wish he was just like right next to the entrance.
Yeah, he's just vibrating, walking through. He's like, this was a mistake. Mm-hmm. This is the big in my whole lifespan, 250 years of life experience, almost 200 years of physical experience. This is my biggest mistake with the elevator to the 11th floor.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, I did enjoy it. Rip to that black family, by the way. They didn't deserve that.
That was unnecessary.
Yeah, dude, that was brutal. I felt, especially after you see them connect, you like see him smiling, happy at the table. You're like, the kid's gonna try and go off to his cattle ranch, and the father's trying to get his family on a vacation. They were 2 weeks from their vacation and retirement. And then they all got killed.
We can't have anything good, man. We can't
have anything good, man. Not even in the South. Can't even be farmers without getting murdered by random happenstance. Oh, speaking of black, though, we want to talk about the one of the funniest scenes in the movie, like unintentionally funny. That poor Storm's kid.
Sure.
I'm gonna just call him Little Azari because that's who he reminded me of. Fucking Little Azari. Running from this soldiers in the forest. That poor kid. As soon as the camera panned to him, I'm like, oh, it's over. Wait for it. And he fell down. I'm like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
They got him. I'm sorry, no.
I mean, also with the kids, I think I really like the whole aspect of like Logan looking at the phone and learning about them. I thought that was actually really like impactful emotionally.
Yeah.
Just seeing how terribly they're being treated and experimented on and whatnot. What did you guys think about them towards the end though? Like when they just like full on like it turned into like the 100 or some shit where all these kids are together.
Oh, yeah, and we had talked about that because I think that was one of the issues that you had was basically why they waited so long to use their powers, and when they did, they just fucked shit up. Because I think for me, I took it as, I guess if you're like 10, 11 years old, you've been raised essentially in a building your whole life, and these are the people that like took you in and tortured you and forced you and tormented you with your powers, and you finally get out to the outside world, you're still going to have this little bit of fear until like that one person shows you that you can stand up for yourself. That's at least how I took it. I mean, what did you guys think about it? Because it took him what was the villain's name again? Who had that?
I guess
who had that brutal ass death where everyone used their just this little
the main villain.
Yeah, that little Children of the Corn circle of all the kids using their powers and just killing him with everything.
I know, that was pretty epic.
It's like ice, fire, earth, wind. Heart.
It was like the Avatar intro.
Yeah, fucking Captain
I know, but I guess you
Planet
could say that. But
they
they all wanted to lead there. Like they were all well aware of that, and like they knew they were bad people. No.
Yeah, but I think
that's why they were escaping.
Yeah, they're just scared. But those are some shitty ass bracelets, though. They can be cut through by vibranium.
Yeah, they I don't think they aren't like they held back your powers because the black kid he used it no problem.
Yeah, he just used his ice and just like, oh wait a minute, I have lightning powers. Shock him. The other kid's like, I have ice powers. Why not?
No, he was supposed to be static actually.
He's Static Shock.
Yeah, it was the prequel.
Oh god.
Oh god.
But yeah, I think that's it for me. I'm just trying to say some stuff that I personally found in the movie, but I still did really enjoy it. Guys, any last thoughts you guys want to just say about Logan overall? We can give our ratings.
Yeah.
Just before I give my thoughts, or whatever, in terms of the kids, I like them, I guess, but also I felt like their turn to like want to just murder people was too sudden. Like it seemed like out of place or something, like kind of demoralizing violence, I guess. But
my bad.
Yeah, so that, and then I had like they were sympathetic in the way that you could like see like damn, like they went through like really hard times. Like I can't like that's just like inhumane what they had to go through. But at the same time, I never felt that the characters are likable in the way that I like them and wanted to see them get out or something. It was just like, oh, like we're trading in Wolverine and all the X-Men for these kids. I'm like, I don't know.
I think it's because we didn't get much focus on them. Like the one we got the most focus on was Laura, and I think that's just because of the film itself. It's like, oh, this is Logan, and by extent Laura, not really Azari and the Captain Planet crew.
Yeah.
That is their names now. Yeah. That is who these children officially are.
Yeah, but
final thoughts.
Apart from that, yeah, my final thoughts. I'll say overall, I thought Logan was a very interesting take on Wolverine for his last go. It was the R-rated Wolverine that people wanted to see for all these years. I think performance-wise, the veterans did a solid job. The new people did a great job as well. Villains were awesome. The setting was different and unique in the story. And while there is some issues, I think, for me, in terms of the pacing, I honestly had a great time with it overall. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. So I really liked Logan. Like I mentioned this whole discussion, I had a lot of problems with it, though. But it's one of the movies that I will, like, watch again and again. And I can't wait to see also the deleted scenes for the movie. Because if you notice, there was a lot missing from the trailers. And also James Mangold said there will be deleted scenes on the DVD or something, so I can't wait to see that also. But final rating too. Yeah, I'd probably give like a if I was being conservative, I'd say a 7, but on like the high end, I'd say like 7.5, I think. So
nice. And Willard?
For me, I thoroughly enjoyed Logan. It very much surprised me. It was a very good, like, emotional send-off for a character who I didn't realize I've grown up with. Just out of sheer coincidence, like, oh shit, he's been around for like 17 years. It's 99. But I think it was a great job. I really like seeing X-23. I hope that actress does great things and she's not wasted. One last thing. no fucking suit in the movie. So
Yeah, if imagine the ending though. Really,
that's how it
Wolverine
should
comes
have
up all right before he puts in the needle to get juiced up. He's like, "Wait, there's something else in the bag."
Yeah,
A suit.
Yeah, like he should have had that suit at the end because that's what Mangold wanted for the Wolverine. But whatever the fuck. Anyways,
I'm fine with that. But what would you give it a rating though?
And this is for me personally. I'd give it a 10. If you're like mainstream, I still think it's like a high 8, 9-ish range. I still think it's just a really good movie, but for me personally, and going into it, I think it's a 10. It's not that it is perfect, but it's like it has potential. Not potential, like it is a perfect tier film. Like this is a film. This isn't like a Marvel movie. This is actually feels like a Marvel film where you get something out of it when you leave the theater.
Noise. And guys, that is our spoiler discussion for Logan. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that segment of the episode. So we're going to run down some quick viewer questions. Again, guys, thank you as always for sending them to us with the hashtag AskMarvelite. So we're going to go through these and answer some of your questions. Mm-hmm. You ready, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so this one is from Andre, and he says, hashtag AskMarvelite. Should they combine Luke Cage and Iron Fist Season 2 after Defenders to make Heroes for Hire show, or just keep them separate? I would say, I would actually rather have a Heroes for Hire show between two of them. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Although it would take away from having their own individual stories that could be more in-depth, I think a combo show would be interesting.
Yeah, I say combine.
Yeah, I say just everything after Defenders combination show. Do Heroes for Hire and do Daughters of the Dragon, since we'll have introduced those characters too.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, Nick, you say that too?
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I would say better.
They're gonna run out of ideas before we get to.
They'll save money. Next question from Waru Crook. He says, hashtag AskMarvelite. Do you guys buy the
Kotobukiya?
Sorry, my bad. I can't pronounce it properly. Marvel figures. There's gonna be a Kamala Khan figure coming out soon. I'll just say right now, I didn't even know what those figures were, so sorry. I'm not knowledgeable there. Will?
I probably can't afford them, but I guess once these hybrid checks start coming in, I might have to take the Kamala figure looks cool. So,
Damn.
I don't know if I'm gonna buy it though, because it's
Stop
not
sexualizing minors, Nick.
Yeah, stop sexualizing minors, Japan.
I'm not really like a huge collector into those kind of figures, so probably no. But I mean, it sounds neat.
It can't even move,
I mean, if
bro.
it's a cool Kamala Khan figure and I see it at a con one day and it's a decent price, I'm like, you know what? Why not?
If it's not Revel Tech or SH Arts, I don't want nothing with it.
All right, and the last question is from Lamau Like a Cow. It's a great name. It says, hashtag AskMarvelite. Who do you cast as Namor? Keep it lit, fam. Lamau Like a Cow, you keep it lit too. I would cast the lead Asian dude from Lost. I forgot his name, the actor.
Daniel Day Kim.
Yes, I would cast him.
Okay.
Nick?
I would say the guy that played Spock possibly in the new Star Trek series. He'd be decent.
Oh shit.
He was from Heroes as well, no?
Yeah. Oddly enough.
He would be really good.
He'd be
actually.
good.
He could be good, and also Luke Evans could be pretty good too.
Luke Evans, ooh.
Yeah, he played
His name
Dracula
is Zachary
Untold.
Quinto. Zachary Quinto is from here.
Yeah.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, Luke Evans was the Dracula Untold guy. I think he could be decent.
Nice. I think those two actually be really good. And Willow, how about you, man?
God, this is tough. I'm trying to think of actors.
I think we answered this question ages ago, but
I swear we did a long time ago.
Well, it's back up now because of the show rumors or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly, that is very true.
For some reason, the only one that's like coming to mind is either Donnie Yen or Jet Li. Just because I feel like they could play an asshole really well, but they also have like fighting chops, and I just love to see a good ass man-on-man, hand-to-hand fight between Namor and Black Panther.
I love saying good ass man on man.
Yeah, man, a nice strong,
I like
strong man-on-man friendship.
The way you phrase
I
that.
can see that. For an honorable mention, though, I'm gonna say M. Night Shyamalan. Why not?
Yeah, he could do anything.
Exactly. But yeah, guys. So that is it for this episode of the Marvelite. This was a Logan spoiler-filled podcast, I guess you could say. Also, with some viewer questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Hybrid Network if you enjoyed this. Signing out for Will, Nick, and myself. We will see you guys next time.
Drop a comment too.